All right, so this is the detention. Oh, wait, Ms. Davis is here. This is the detention docket for the 323rd District Court on December 30th, 2020. In compliance with the Texas Supreme Court Emergency Order number 30 related to the coronavirus, we're not conducting in-person proceedings. However, we are doing this through Zoom. In order to comply with the Texas Constitution, Article 1, Section 13, also known as the Open Courts Act, we are making these proceedings viewable to the public so they can observe what happens in a public courtroom. No portion of this detention hearing may be recorded, copied, or published. Violations are punishable by contempt of court of up to 6 months in the Tarrant County Jail and a $500 fine. And the court does expect everyone to behave appropriately for court. So please not be laying down in bed in pajamas, in the bathroom, taking showers, with domesticated animals across the screen, conversations with other people, or bright lights in the background that shadow your face. I specifically mentioned all these examples because they have all previously occurred. Ms. Moreno, you cannot be driving a car while you're in detention here.
Mr. Kim, just one time, I have to multitask because my daughter has a specialist appointment for her breast. We found a lump on it. So just this one time, I mean, they both need...
I am not going to let you drive a car in the rain while attending court. There is no one time for that.
Give her the phone when I picked her up. I'm on my way to get her now, just so I don't miss his appointment, and I can't miss her appointment. Her appointment is very important too.
And that is fine. If you need to go to the appointment, you need to go to the appointment. But I can remove you to this hearing. I'm not going to watch you get in an accident while on Zoom.
Would I be able to?
All right, Ms. Davis, I know you arrived late. Just want to let you know, we did the under 14s before we started. So I went ahead and detained her, and I started a placement search for her, Ms. Davis. So just so you know what's going on. Of course, you'll sit here and watch. You're welcome to, but if you need to leave, I understand. Brandy Rideau, please turn on your camera. Caleb and Samaria, please turn on your camera. Robert Lee, please turn on your camera. Caleb and Samaria, this is your last chance. Turn on your camera. Mr. Lee, please sit still. A moving background is distracting to everyone. All right, I'm removing camera and Samaria. Caleb and Samaria. Ms. Rideau, I need your face on the screen. This is still court. This is so appropriate for the last day of 2020. Mr. Lee, this is your last warning. You cannot move around while you're in a court hearing. All right, Peyton Demerson. This is a detention hearing. You're in the Tarrant County Jail. You've been here for 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case, deciding whether to keep you here or not. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Your attorney is Ms. YYYYY.
I'm here.
All right, and we have certification hearing on January 7th. All right, so Mr. Demerson, so you're 17 years old. That's why I'm holding you downtown. This is the, oh yeah, this guy, I guess, riding a bike, and he's saying that you came up to him, threatened him. He previously knew you because he had evidently robbed you, or he's saying you robbed him before. In March, we'll release you on electronic monitor to go to your grandmother's funeral. And because you did well, we let you stay out on the monitor, but in May, you cut off your monitor and ran. And then September, there was a call of a robbery at, I think, the Whataburger, or Walgreens. And so, where they're saying that you forced him to go to the ATM and withdraw money because he didn't have enough money on him. And so you have adult charges. So, Mr. Demerson, I feel like if I was to release you, you'd be a danger to the community or yourself, and that you may not appear in court because your prior EM removal history. Mr. Demerson, if you have a question for me, I don't think Mr. YYYYY minds if you ask. If you want to tell me something,
I'll tell you so.
Oh, if you want to tell me something, I think she wants you to stay quiet.
Yes, Your Honor, can you send us a breakout room, Your Honor, please? If you have a minute for that.
I just need to ask my attorney something.
So if you have a question for me, I don't mind answering the question. If you want to tell me something, this is not a trial. This is about detaining you or not detaining you.
I know, I'm trying to tell her that can she come see me before my next court date?
I will already. I know that I will see you.
All right. That's
All right. Thank you, Mr. Demerson. Sheriff, thank you very much for bringing this inmate.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Mrs. Uihe. All right, Ms. Tennyson, please keep the bright light from behind you because it shadows out your face and just cannot see who you are. Dwan Adams. All right, do we have a parent for Mr. Adams?
Yes, mom is here.
Mom's here, okay.
Are you saying Dwan Adams?
Yes.
Okay, yes, sir. His mom should be in the courtroom.
You're walking in, Judge.
Great. All right, Mr. Adams, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid's brought in, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. And Mr. Willett is your attorney. Good morning, Mr. Willett.
Good morning.
All right, so Mr. Adams, you have no history with this department. You're 14 years old. The Arlington PD said that this morning about 2 o'clock, there's a stolen vehicle parked at Parks Mall. Martina tried to stop the vehicle, but the driver began to evade through the parking lot. And at the frontage road, struck another occupied vehicle. After getting on the highway, the driver went up to 100 miles an hour while weaving in and out of traffic. Exit South Bowen, lost control, hit a light pole, another vehicle, caused major damage. Adams told the police that he evaded the officers because the other occupants told him to. Adams was driver and 2 other juveniles. When he went to jail, gave a fake date of birth. His grandmother called and gave the correct date of birth. The other juveniles were released. See, parents here, she's saying that you were staying with your biological father for Christmas. He gave you permission to stay with a friend in Garland. They have no idea how you got to Arlington. So, Ms. Turner-Hill, the other juveniles you wrote in here, there's no history with this department?
No, sir. They don't have any history. One was 13 and one was 14, but I checked in JCMS.
Okay. All right. So, Mom, you're here. Where do you live, Mom?
I live in Fort Worth.
You live in Fort Worth. Do you know the people he was with?
No, sir.
Are you dad or are you stepdad?
Dad.
Okay. So, where's the father?
You're not here.
And I'll tell him.
Oh, how appropriate. Yeah, I'm not comfortable releasing him, Mom. When he's going that fast, hits 2 cars with people in it. And he's doing this because kids are telling him to, but you don't even know what kids he's with. I think he is just not going to accept your supervision. I know you may think he's a good kid, but everything that I see so far indicates that he's not. So I'm going to keep him here for now, see how he does, see what his behavior's like. Mom, does your son do drugs? Does he smoke weed?
No, sir. My son don't have a problem until he asked me, can he go spend time with his dad for the holiday break?
So he doesn't get in trouble at the house, sir. It's when he leaves to go to Dallas over his dad's house is when he gets in trouble. As long as he stays at the house, he never gets in trouble at the house.
Well, my question then is, if he gets in trouble when he goes to Dallas, how come y'all keep on letting him go to Dallas?
It's for the, I guess, the custody rights or whatever. So,
okay, so dad has possession.
Yeah, so I came to, talking to her, was letting her know that, hey, we don't need to let him over there no more since he always getting in his trouble over there. But.
Right, okay. Well, if there's a court order about custody, then you have to follow that court order. If it doesn't work out, if it's not working, then you have to change that order. Well,
Your
you want
Honor,
to- yes?
I have a question.
Yes.
If you put him on a leg monitor and told him he couldn't leave the house, would you have precedent over the family court as far as child custody goes?
That would supersede the family court possession schedule.
I would suggest maybe that would work too.
I'm not sure even that I mean,
So, Mom, what are his grades like?
It's not a court order. I've been taking care of my son from the since he was born.
Yeah, but then tell me, what are his grades like?
He grade.
Yes.
He grade. He just finally go back to the school the 2 weeks before the Christmas break. He might not be the best student, but he try. He's still on the C of A and B, some of them, but he try.
So you're still not telling me what his grades are like?
he's an A/B average student. So
A, B, but Mom was just saying C.
He gets some
he
C.
gets C's every now and then. There, his grades are good. He doesn't. His report cards are A's and B's. Man.
Look, this is where I'm at. I mean, part of me, he has no history of the department, right? We've kind of identified the problem, and the problem is dad. And that, I'm balancing that out with the fact that he's in a stolen car at 2 o'clock in the morning, back in Arlington, with 2 other juveniles, and potentially killing other people, going 100 miles an hour down Interstate 20 in the rain. Right? I mean, you understand, like this, it's just so over the top. Like, it's hard for me to understand how he's a good kid, because good kids don't get in stolen cars, drive 100 miles an hour in the rain, and crash into somebody, right? I mean, that doesn't make sense. That's not good kid behavior.
I don't say my son was right, but sometimes kids do make a wrong choice.
That's under somebody else's supervision, though.
Yeah, it's not with us.
That is not
Right. But I understand. I'm not saying the supervision's good or bad. What I'm saying is he is making bad decisions, right? That's the problem. Is at a certain point when you decide to get in a stolen car, at a certain point when you decide to run from the police, you get in an accident, you keep on running, you get on the highway, you go 100 miles an hour, you put people in danger, you get off, and you hit another car with people inside. Like, there's so many bad decisions along the way. That's not about supervision. That's about him. Like, he just keeps on stacking on top of it. Right? I mean, you see where I'm going with this, right? I'm not saying that y'all supervision is poor. I'm saying that he's, certain kids just can't accept supervision. And I'm just wondering if Dwan is one of those, where he just refuses to accept supervision.
never had a problem with that, though.
I'll tell you what, Dwan, I can detain you for now. Get to level 1-0, and I'm willing to release you on the electronic monitor, but that is not to go to the father, right? Must live with mom, all right?
Okay.
But, and Mr. Willett, I'm doing this because I'm just wondering if there's a problem where he's not, obviously, mom and stepdad may not be telling me the truth, but I just want him to prove to me that he can follow the rules. And that's why I keep him there, gets a level 1-0. If he can follow the rules, then I have a little more confidence. If he can't follow the rules, then we'll know and we'll realize it's a bigger behavioral issue. All right. That's my reasoning behind this, Mr. Willett. Hopefully you see the rationale.
I do, Your Honor. I see.
All right,
Your
Dwan,
Honor,
you know what I expect from you, Dwan? Oh, Ms. Turnerhill?
I'm sorry, did you want him to maintain it for a certain period of time, or just once he gets it, he's eligible for release the next day?
No, just on Monday, if he's level 1-0, because he'll have 5 days that he'll have to maintain it. So that's, normally I would say maintain it, but just because of the holiday weekend, I'm not putting that on there. Dwan, do you understand what's happening?
Yes, sir.
So did they explain the levels to you?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you've got to follow all the rules, and if you don't, then you just stay here until you prove to me you can follow the rules, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Dwan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Victor Alvarez.
He'll get released Monday if he maintains his level. So that'll be up to him.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I did want to let you know we have members of the victim's family participating on YouTube this morning on Alvarado.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes,
Good
sir.
morning, Your Honor. And I also will be covering from Pio Castillo for Victor.
Well, all right. All right, so Victor, this is a detention hearing. We've had these before. You're 17 years old. You've been here for 264 days. So yeah, this is the one with the...
There are two cases, Your Honor.
Right. Back in April, there was a shooting, people dispatched, person dead on the scene, and a witness said she heard a boom and then saw a vehicle. A male witness said that people playing basketball, there's an argument. The next day, after the argument, same people came back, shot the victim in the chest with a BB gun. And the next day, they came back, saw a truck pull up, shot from the vehicle. Person was shot in the chest, came in the house, died in the house. And so, vehicle matched the vehicle from the surveillance from the day before, so they went up there. And one of the suspects said that Victor drove up there. He saw Victor with a gun in his hand, and confrontation. Well, and then in September, somehow you're released, but we released you, and victim and another person were walking at a park when they saw Victor driving a silver truck shoot them. One person was shot in the leg, and they knew Victor because they went to the same school.
Your Honor, may I interrupt? There was never a release of him from custody. There was just some confusion with the police on filing the second case.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was April 30th. All right, that makes sense. All right, yeah, so it's just a case that came in late.
Yes.
All right, Victor, I absolutely believe if I was to release you, you're a danger to the community as well as yourself. And so I'm going to go ahead and detain you. You also have history. You were on probation for burglary of habitation too at the time. So, yeah, Mr. Youngblood, where are we looking at this one? Do we have a date set for something? Certification, January 7th.
Yes, sir. I'm not clear on how that's going to be accomplished. We can talk about that another time. The family does want to make a request for you to release him on an electronic monitor. I recognize that's not likely, but they've asked me to let you know that's their request.
Right. Yeah, Victor, I understand your family wants you to be released on monitor. I'm not comfortable. Your access to guns and your pattern of behavior, and the fact that you're on probation and you committed a new offense, just makes me think if I was to release you while this case is pending, you would commit another new offense. So I'm going to go ahead and detain you. All right, Victor, do you have any questions for me? Victor, do you have any questions for me? Where's the child?
Sir, I thought you were finished. I let him walk out.
I'm sorry?
I thought you were finished detaining him. I'd let him go back to class.
Oh, how much did he miss?
Just right now, just the last part that you just said about if he had any questions.
Well, I can tell you, Your Honor, he might have some things he'd like to tell you, but he doesn't have any questions. He understands what's going on. And he's waiting for Mr. Bumberg and I to discuss with him at some point in the near future an offer.
Okay, so security control. So he actually, was he there with the camera on when I said I'm detaining you?
Yes, sir. Yeah, and I thought that was it. So,
okay. All right. Well, as long as he was there for me to tell him that, that's fine.
all right, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, the next one is Robert Lee. You have a waiver form? Or is it? All right, Mr. Lee, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid is brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. And we have appointed Ms. Hopkins as your attorney. And I guess we do not have a parent here.
Your Honor, we do.
Yes.
Mr. Robert Lee is participating via Zoom.
Oh, we do. Okay. Where's the parent?
I'm right here,
Robert.
sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right. Robert, you've never been here before. See, Mansfield PD brought you in today. See, they were working several cases with stolen vehicles and bins changed out and sold with a fake title. Yesterday, they're following up with a Silverado truck listed on OfferUp, believed to be stolen. So they contacted the seller, said it was for sale, they can meet up. They also noticed the vehicle had been sold, and they were able to locate the buyer, the vehicle and the unsuspecting buyer. The correct VIN showed it was stolen out of Baytown. The title was fake. When they searched the vehicle, they found a cell phone placed there so the sellers could track the vehicle, steal it back, and resell it again. And so the cell phone was taken, placed in another unmarked vehicle, and there's surveillance set up as local shopping center. So a Tahoe with damage appeared to drive slowly through the parking lot. License returned to a different vehicle, so there's a traffic stop. The driver evaded the vehicle, speeding and running red lights. Officers discontinued pursuit, but was checking the neighborhoods near the last location they saw it and found the vehicle. They found 3 subjects a block away, contacted them. Robert Lee was one of them, and 2 adults. One of the adults had a key to the Tahoe, and Lee had the keys to the stolen Silverado. He said they were all from Houston. There were 2 more people in the car. A resident had video of the suspects exiting the vehicle, and a female also. A female adult was found in the area. She said one of the adult males asked if she wanted to make some money, that they were driving around looking for a vehicle they sold yesterday so they could steal it and sell it back. He's 15 years old. All right, so Mr. Lee Sr., are you in Harris County? Are you in Houston?
I'm in Harris, yes, sir.
Okay. So what's your son doing up here in Tarrant County?
I do not know. He spent the weekend with his friends. I'm a single father. I have 2 other children. And he spent the weekend with his friends. He's the only boy in the house.
So he spent a weekend with friends here in Fort Worth or in Houston?
No, in Houston.
So how long was he gone for?
He was gone 3 days. And like, it was okay because one of my other daughters, they had them a best friend Christmas as well. So I guess he was wanting to hang out with his friends for Christmas. Like, our family is small, so I let him go hang out with, I know the parents of who he was hanging out with, so it was okay.
So have you talked to them since you found out?
Yes, sir.
So what reason did they give you that Robert was gone?
They said that him and Daniel he has another friend that he was with that I know him and I know the family. And I guess they split up. One went to his girlfriend's house, and I guess Robert, I don't even know who these guys here are with. I don't know exactly.
Okay, Mr. Lee.
I don't know the names of the people he's with.
But you're not, Dad, you're not answering my question. You said he could go to his friend's house. He left the friend's house, end up in Fort Worth. But you talked to them and you asked them, hey, when did he leave your house? You're supposed to be watching him. What answer did they give you?
The day before Christmas?
No,
or the day aren't, no, like it was morning Christmas. They both left.
And they didn't call you to let you know that your son left?
No, but my son called me, so I didn't think anything of it.
And he just lied to you about where he was?
Yes, sir.
All right, does your son have juvenile history in Houston, in Harris County?
Not that I know of.
Okay, what do you mean not that you know of? Like,
because he had gotten a little trouble when he was younger, but I don't think they didn't do any charges or anything on him. They
What
just
kind of
had me
trouble?
come pick them up.
Physical, mental.
Oh, Mr. Junior, I'm not talking to you. Dad, what kind of trouble are we talking about?
Like, he had an episode where he wasn't on his medication or whatever. So basically, they were trying to get him to take his medication. I was too, and he ended up going to the hospital. But the police was called out first, and then it's a crisis intervention team that came to get him and take him to the hospital, and he stayed there for probably like 3-4 days.
So what's he taking medication for?
Bipolar. He lost his mom when he was younger, so it's like he had depression as well. But it's bipolar depression. Something I don't know to be exact. I can go get his meds if you want.
No, Miss Aguilar will need, or Miss Aguirre will need the medication. When's the last time you saw a doctor?
Probably like 4 months ago, 5 months ago.
All right, Dad, just so you know, with juveniles, if they have mental health needs, they need to see a doctor at most every 6 weeks, okay? Because their brains are changing. And so they need more supervision than an adult would from a doctor.
Hello? Hello? Yeah, good morning. How are you? I'm good. We are well. Who am I speaking with? Okay, Debbie. Okay. Yeah, is it the one that will have that has the dog bites? Okay. I'm in a hearing right now, so if you can speak quick before they call my case, what's going on? Uh-huh. Okay, so what, I mean, are you talking about in reference to your...
Suzuihe, you're not on mute, by the way.
It doesn't matter, you know, even if you don't have paper, that doesn't mean that you cannot...
All right, so Mr. Lee Sr., I'm going to go ahead and keep your son here. And
Right, that's...
I'm going to do order a psychological or psychiatric evaluation for him.
Okay.
I'm going to order a psychiatric evaluation for him so we can see what's going on with his mental health. Yeah, the fact that when he's down there and he runs away, it gives me concern that he's not going to appear back for court. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and keep him here until we can figure out a little bit more what's going on. So, young Mr. Earl or Mr. Lee, decisions have consequences. So you made some choices. I will let you know now, this is not Harris County. I'm very familiar. I'm friends with the juvenile judges down in Harris County. And I can tell you their philosophy on things are very different than me. And so we do not have like a catch and release system where everyone gets out. I have to be comfortable following the law, which says that I have to make sure you're not a danger to yourself or to others and that you're likely to return to court. Right now, I feel like you are a danger to yourself as well as to others, and that you are not likely to return to court. I'm sorry?
For what though? Like, why you don't think I'm gonna come back to court?
Because you live in Harris County and your dad let you go to a friend's house for Christmas. You ran away from there. The people that he trusted to provide care for you did not tell your dad that you ran away.
I didn't run away.
You were calling your dad and lying to him about where you were. So when you're asking, why do I think you're not going to come back to court? Is because you're lying. You're a liar. That's why.
But I'm gonna be at home. But
no, you're a liar. So I can't trust you. Once you prove yourself you're a liar, then you're a liar until you prove otherwise.
Excuse
me. When you say I'm going to be at home, I have no reason to believe you. If you'll lie to your dad, I know you'll lie to me.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
It was I'm not making an excuse for. It's no excuse for what he did, or or him even being down there. But it is a discipline system here. We do discipline here. The only reason I let him go is because of the quarantine, the coronavirus. He hasn't been out like that. So that was the only reason I even let one of my daughters go. So like that.
So Dad,
He
I am not
is supervised. Like that's.
Dad, I'm not blaming you because I think everything you did was very reasonable. You gave him some time to spend with friends over the break. You did it with a trusted individual that you thought was responsible. The fact that they lied to you about where he was, or that about letting him go, right? And the fact that he ran away on his own and he called you and lied to you about where he was and got involved allegedly with all this up here. I mean, your son's a liar. And so until you prove.
I told the truth about where I was at the moment.
So, Mr. Lee, either you're lying or your dad's lying. Which one? Are you going to throw your dad under the bus and tell me he's a liar?
Boom. Can I talk? I can talk real quick.
Well, that's a question. Answer my question.
Huh?
Answer my question. So, which one's a liar? You or your dad?
Like me, but like.
Okay. So you're the liar. That's why I'm not.
Because boom. Look, I'm finna tell you right now. Like, can I?
Sir, Mr. Lee, this is your attorney. I strongly suggest that you stop speaking at the current moment.
It's something dry here, bro.
Allow you and I to have a discussion, all right? And let the judge finish up, all right?
Yeah. So, all right, Mr. Lee. Well, we'll see you in 10 days. Let's sit him back down.
Come on. Hey, young man, come on. Just have a seat.
So what was the last thing he said?
Why are you doing this?
Why? I didn't even do nothing, bro.
You shouldn't even be down there.
Bro,
you shouldn't even be down there.
I will tell you what.
You shouldn't be mad at nobody but yourself. You shouldn't be down there.
Young Mr. Lee, I can't tell you how much I like your dad. He is stepping up and doing, how many of your friends don't even have dads in their lives? And he's stepping up doing all this, the sacrifices that he makes. And this is the disrespect you show for him.
I didn't even do nothing. I barely got picked up this morning. That's what I'm saying.
You didn't barely do nothing. You're caught
yesterday morning. I got picked up at 3 in the morning.
A stolen car in a county 4 hours away from where you're supposed to be, and you didn't do nothing.
I barely got picked up yesterday.
It doesn't matter when you got picked up. Why are you even here? You're not supposed to be here. Man, it's not everything's relative. It's an absolute right or wrong. You're not supposed to lie to your old man. You're not supposed to lie to your parents.
I didn't lie. I told him where I was at.
You're not supposed to be stolen. You're not supposed to be with other people committing felonies.
I told him where I was at, then I came over here. It's all like,
Hey, you do have to behave. Behave yourself. Now, hey, it's the consequence to everything you do. I can't baby you through this. This is what happens when you mess up. I can't baby you through this. You got to stand on your own 10 toes. I'm here for you. I love you. I'm here for you. But cussing the judge out, hell, no, that's not going to get it.
You got to listen to your old man. Your pops, he's a righteous man. I will tell you that. He stepped up far beyond what I expect normal fathers to do. And you know what? You may not like him. You may not like what he has to say. But there's a nugget of truth in there. There's a whole lot of truth.
I didn't even do nothing. I just dry arrested me, bro. I was in the car. I was just riding.
This is your problem, right? What you don't understand. When you say I didn't do nothing, the fact that you left Harris County is the problem. That's where it all started. You're not even accepting the fact that you screwed up by leaving Harris County.
All right, I know that.
You screwed up by violating your dad's trust.
Why am I here?
He let you go to your friend's house, and when you left, you broke his trust. And because your dad loves you, he'll look past that, and he'll give you another chance. When you're dealing with a judge, I don't have to look past that. I don't have any love for you. You're another kid in the system that I'm trying to do my job and trying to help. But at the end of the day, your dad will give you 100,000 million chances. And he'll keep on giving you chances because he cares about you. Right? But the court, that's the law. The law doesn't love you. So either you shape up and respect the law and respect the rules, and that means the law says you have to respect your father and follow his rules because you're a minor.
Bro, this is
Until you're
the first
18.
time I left.
Either you do
First
that,
time.
or you're gonna have trouble with the
First
law
time
for
I
the
left
rest of
since
your life.
like, huh?
See, you're too busy talking, flapping your gums that you're not even listening to me. There's two types of people in this world: those who listen and those who wait for their turn to talk. And you're not the kind that listens. So is there any other choice words you want from me before you stand up and pout and storm out like a 2-year-old?
Yes.
What are your choice words?
What's the reason of me being here?
Because I don't trust you. I don't trust you to return.
I understand that I'm supposed to be at home, but like, boom. Like, I barely even know these people, but like, it's because I was with, like, that's Homeboy's brother. The one that was driving, it was Homeboy's brother.
See, and Mr. Lee, you don't even understand. The problem I have is you lied to your dad and you ended up in Fort Worth. That's the biggest issue right now about you returning to court.
But I'm gonna return to court, bro. Regardless.
I don't know that. You're a liar.
I'm coming to court.
I don't know that. You're a liar.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I can vouch that he can come to court. My mom's from Ennis, Texas, Waxahachie, Fort Worth, and Dallas. So I'm real familiar with the area as far as I used to go when I was little down there. He can get to court. It's 4 hours away.
I understand. Mr. Lee Sr., I can't tell you how much respect I have for you and how much confidence I have in you trying to do the right thing for your son. My worry right now, my concern, is that your son is just too smart for you or me, that he's too wise, that he knows better, he's going to do his own thing, and we don't know nothing. That's my problem. He's got this attitude, Dad, that you and we're inconveniences in his life. And I'm not going to put up with that. That's my concern right now. So he needs to have an attitude adjustment. He needs to show me he can behave, follow structure, follow rules, and respect the system. And then I'm okay releasing him. I don't want to hold him here forever. But with this attitude that he has right now, if I throw him back with you, he's going to give you the same attitude. If he'll treat a judge like that, how's he going to treat you?
Yeah, that was like beyond, like, I don't know what you thinking, Robert, but that man right there holds the key to your freedom or you being in there. I don't know what you thinking, but I don't even care beyond that. He's an adult. You owe him an apology. You owe him an apology. He's not the reason you in there. He's doing his job.
Your old man, he's a righteous man.
But it's all on you. It's out my hands. I did my job. You know right from wrong. I did my job. It's out my hands. I'm here for you. Whatever you need, whenever they say I can come get you, or if I have to come visit you, I'm here for you. But it's out my hands. You got to make it to, you're at a level 2, you got to make it to a level 1 or whatever. Don't go make a bad situation worse, because it can be.
Mr. Lee,
that's all I got to tell you, man. I love you, man.
Dad, if you were in the courtroom,
I'm here for you. I love you.
Step down and shake your hand right now. Your dad's right. So, all right, Mr. Lee, we'll see you in 10 days and we'll decide what to do with you. Thank you. All right. Montez Otis.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Otis, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case. You're 16 years old. You're level 1 outstanding. You have been for 2 weeks. Glad to see that. All right, so yeah, this is one where you cut off your EM and you were gone for about a year. And so you're on probation for aggravated robbery using a deadly weapon. Ms. Young, what do you think?
Good morning, Judge. I'm covering for Ms. Young.
All right, Ms. Parks, are you familiar enough with this case to give me a recommendation?
I'm going to defer to the court, Your Honor. I do know that Mom was contacted this morning and she said she would be at the detention center, but I do not see her there.
All right, so Ms. Parks, if you can go back on JCMS and look at his history. He's level 1 since December 14. How far did he drop down?
Just a second.
Walking in now, dude.
He's been level 1 since December the 14th, level 1 outstanding.
I know that, but how far did he drop down?
He dropped down to level 3 outstanding on December the 10th.
Why level 3?
On December the 9th, he was at level 3 confined.
Why?
Secluded near peer altercation.
Do we know what the altercation was about?
On December the 8th, he was placed on DNA due to a near physical altercation in the classroom.
Mr. Houston, we're in negotiations right now. Is the state looking to restore supervision or for commitment?
Judge, I have never once got the opportunity to speak with the state about this case. I do know this: for 56 days, Mr. Otis has been in custody. From my knowledge, he's been in and around level 1 outstanding the entire time. And the young man literally calls me every other day. He's begging, pleading to go home. He's going to do what he needs to do. He's had a child born since he's been in here. He just wants to get out and see his kid.
Ms. Parks, what's he on probation? It's a determined sentence. How long is the commitment? What's the exposure on the aggravated robbery?
His determined sentence until March the 12th, 2023. I do know, Your Honor, he's scheduled for court on January the 20th at 8:30.
But how long is his commitment potential for? What was his actual sentence that was probated?
Let me look. I'm looking. I could be wrong, but he was scheduled to take off. But when he absconded, that's what extended the probation.
Right, but so when he got the probation, there's a certain number of years that he was committed that was probated. How many years was he committed for?
Your Honor, may I jump in?
May.
I'm looking at the notes from the court hearing. If it was on September 12th of last year, it was a 10-year period of confinement probated for 42 months.
All right, Mr. Otis, 10 years is the longest possible commitment that you can be probated for. So what that tells me is the aggravated robbery that you're probation for was a very serious offense. All right.
Yes, sir.
So I am actually, you're behaving, you're level 1O. You have that hiccup almost a month ago, but I'm actually considering releasing you. I want to, can we get the jacket, Stephanie? I want to look at the, Ms. Parks or Mr. Ainsley, can you give me a copy of the social history that was used at disposition?
Yes,
so I can look at that. I'll make a decision. Mr. Otis, depending on how serious the crime itself was, that'll make my decision on whether to release you on monitor or to keep you here. Okay. So that's, at this point, as long as it wasn't that serious, then I'm okay putting you back on the monitor and releasing you until you're at court hearing. But if it was, I mean, if it offends me, if it was that serious, then I'm gonna keep you here, okay?
Okay.
But you're at this point because you earned it because of your behavior levels. I'll let you know. I'm considering it. No promises, right? I'm just letting you know you've convinced me by behaving to review it and look at it carefully. Okay? All right, thank you, Mr. Otis. So right now I'm detaining you, but I'll get that jacket and look at it. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Aubrey Sarno.
I'll be in the back lobby.
All right, Aubrey, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The law says when a kid's brought here, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. We have appointed Mr. Adler as your attorney. Is Mr. Adler here today? Okay, so Ms. Hopkins is going to step in. Good morning, Ms. Hopkins. All right, so Aubrey, you're currently on probation. Well, no. You're on deferred prosecution just 2 weeks ago. Mom says you've pretty much broken every rule, and we issued a warrant for you. So you were brought in for assault, family violence. You're here for 21 days. Finally got to level 1 outstanding, so we release you at monitor. And that juvenile put you on deferred prosecution and kept the monitor on you. And Mom says that okay, so I guess she ran away, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, all right, well, Aubrey, you can't ditch your monitor and run away while you're on deferred prosecution. So do we have a parent here?
Yes.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Okay. So, Mom, thank you very much for cooperating with us, talking with us. I'm not giving up on Aubrey, right? This may be a process. She's only 14, so we have years to work with her. So, but at this point, you cannot be on DPP, cut off your monitor and run away and not have a consequence. So I'm going to go ahead and detain her, right? And so we'll review the case and figure out what the next step is. All right, Aubrey, decisions have consequences. This is the consequence of your decision to cut off the monitor and run away. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and detain you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Decorian Titus. All right, Mr. Titus, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case. If I keep you here, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Ms. Taylor is your attorney. Good morning, Ms. Taylor.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Titus, you're 16 years old, and let's see. You had a case back when you were, I guess, 13 for evading arrest, then nothing. Then earlier this month, police conducted a traffic stop, smelled weed from the car, everyone got out. Behind the front passenger seat where you were sitting, they found a backpack that had 2 firearms, and you had a warrant for murder. Back in September, there was a shooting. Found a victim who had been shot, and he was pronounced deceased at JPS. See, witness gave a description of the suspect vehicle, found 9mm casings in the street, and the police had the real-time crime center cameras. Looked at the owner of the vehicle. See, there's a witness said that. See, suspect. Both police say he had picked up Decorian and Teray, drove by the victim's house. And the first time Teray fired shots, second time Decorian fired shots. They're all members of the Blood Gang. So, all right, well, Mr. Titus, do we have a parent here, Mr. Titus?
We do. Yeah, Judge, and actually he's got a lot of support. I've gotten letters of recommendation from coaches and teachers. It's my understanding he's been level 1 outstanding the entire time he's been in the detention facility. as far as this information, it sounds like uncorroborated co-defendant testimony. State hasn't filed anything. The only thing that is available to me on text share is a 2017 like criminal evading, but it was.
Ms. Taylor, you said the state hasn't filed anything. They haven't filed a petition yet?
No. I don't believe so.
Ms. Blair, are you here?
Your Honor, this is Selena Aguida. I'm covering for Arlene Blair.
Yeah, can you check to see if a petition has been filed?
Yes, Your Honor, I will check. Your Honor, the only thing I see was filed to the prosecutor by Officer Blair on December the 3rd, but I don't have any court dates or other hearings.
So there is a petition filed?
It was referred to the prosecutor.
Okay, no, I mean, I need to make sure there's a petition filed.
There's not.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Titus, there are 4 days for the state to have a petition filed. If not, then you will be released. All right. They have 30 days from the time you're brought in. 30 days from the point I first detain you for them to file a petition. They haven't yet. They haven't, as a matter of law, must release you. Okay. So that's disturbing, but the law gives them 30 days. All right. So we'll see. But yes, on. This is Mr. Gary, you're covering. Who's your supervisor? Is it Mr. Ansley?
My direct supervisor is Douglas Ligon. However, David Ansley is Officer Blair's direct supervisor.
All right. If no petition is filed tomorrow at 5 o'clock, you get released. All right. Mr. Titus, do you have a question, or you may want to quit while you're ahead?
I need to talk to Ken. You can Taylor call me.
Yes, sir. I will call you this afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because 30 days happens over the weekend. So, all right. Thank you very much, Mr. Titus.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, Ms. Keenan. Happy New Year. I'm Ms. Taylor. Happy New Year.
You too, Judge. Thanks.
Rudy Valley.
Judge, be advised that young man is currently under quarantine, so you'll be talking to him through the door.
Okay, that's fine. All right, Mr. Valley, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days. I'm reviewing your case, deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I release you, you see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to attorney. Mr. Green is your attorney. Mr. Valley, if I remember correctly, that you were released on EM for unauthorized use of motor vehicle. And it turns out that contact your sister, you stole her car, you cut off your monitor in November, and Stephanie, what are the nuts? What did happen at the detention hearing? I remember something happened. Oh yeah, he wouldn't speak to me. So at this point, you're behind the glass, so I don't even know if you're speaking. Do we have a parent here, Mr. Valley? No parent.
Your Honor, this case was set for a trial with you, a bench trial.
Okay.
On engaging organized crime on December 8th. It did not happen. Mr. Valle did not appear for court. You issued a directive to apprehend him.
That's right. He didn't show up to him. He was invited, but didn't appear. So. All right, Rudy. So I feel like if I let you go, you would not come back to court because you missed your own trial. And then on top of it, your attitude is pretty bad. So I'm glad to see you're level 1-0, but we will see you in 10 days. Thank you, Mr. Valley. All right, Mohammed Ahmed.
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right, so Mr. Ahmed, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day detention hearing. Reviewing a case, deciding whether to keep you or release you. By keep you see a judge every 10 days. Your attorney, Ms. Hopkins, is here. You do have the right to remain silent. So, let's see. December 15th, Dad called, said you weren't at home. Didn't come back till 11:30. And school sent you to alternative education, but because you were skipping, you're supposed to go there for the next few days. When you tried to take you there, you refused to go inside. Spent an hour. You spent an hour refusing to go inside. He was trying to take you in. Eventually took you home because you had to go to work. And yeah. You had EM violations, curfew violations. And we brought you in, you're positive for weed. So you have a pending, you're on probation and you have a, you're smoking weed, skipping school, not listening to your dad. So Dad, good morning.
Yeah, how you doing?
All right, well, you deserve better. Your child's supposed to respect you. And if you're there taking him to school because of his mess ups, because he can't go to his normal school, he's refusing to go inside, he knows better. You raised him better than that. I know you, Dad. So at this point, he's got to show me his attitude is fixed. And at this point, I don't think his attitude is fixed. So besides, if I was to let him go, school's not even in session. So I'm going to hold on to him a little bit longer. We'll see how his behavior is. We'll see if it's time to release him. Dad, are you able to talk to him while he's here?
What did you say?
Are you able to talk to your son?
Yes. I love him. I just need him to just at this time going well in his school because he's almost 16. That is all I need from him.
No, what you need is for him to listen to you and respect you.
Yes, of course.
That's what he needs to do.
Yep.
And I am waiting to show me that he can listen to adults and respect adults. And that way I'm comfortable releasing him back to you. Okay? Mohammed, do you have a question for me or do you just want to tell me something?
Yes, I want to tell you something.
No. Your attorney doesn't want you to tell me something. If you want to ask me something, I'm okay answering, but she doesn't want you to tell me anything. There's nothing you can tell me, okay?
I was just trying to let you know that I.
No. That's, again, letting me know is telling me something. This is not about a trial. This is about detaining you. You disrespected your father so much that it's got me angry that you need to prove to me that if I let you go, you will respect your father. That's what I need. That is what you need to do. That's your job, is to respect your father. And if you're not going to do that, then I'm going to keep you here. That simple. Okay?
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. Ryan Dahl. Or Dahl?
Dahl.
Dahl, okay. Hello, Mr. Decker.
Hello, sir. How are you, Judge?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you. I kind of miss all my colleagues downtown. You know, we would see each other every day for 15 years, and all of a sudden.
Well, right now we're not seeing anybody, so it's nothing personal to you, right?
That's true. All right, so let's see. Ryan, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day hearing deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you see a judge every 10 days while you're here. I think, is that maybe your mom coming in?
Yes, and granddad.
And granddad. Okay. Great. So, all right. So you have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Mr. Decker, your attorney is here. All right. So Ryan, you are on probation for burglary of a building, which you received in November of 2019. And then, let's see, November 23rd, we issued a warrant for you for removing your EM because in June, you cut off your EM and we issued a warrant. So it took 5 minutes to pick you up. And let's see, that was only 4 days after you were released by Judge Terry on the electronic monitor, so you could have a psychological assessment in the community instead of keeping you here for it. So she kind of gave you some grace there. It looks like you burned Judge Terry. So you're on probation for burglary of a building, and there's a transfer disposition for deadly conduct. So let's see, Mr. Miller, help me out with this one. The deadly conduct case, what are the facts of that?
Judge, that occurred in Parker County. They adjudicated him on the offense. I believe that they were shooting assault rifles, and one of the bullets struck a neighbor's house. Apparently, they were with some adults that were allowing them to use it. I think it was an AR-15. And so, because he lived in Tarrant County, they adjudicated him, but we were still waiting to dispo him on that offense.
Okay, and he cut off the minute monitor while we're waiting on disposition. And he absconded for 6 months. All right. Then that answers my question. So your mom and granddad, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so who does he live with, mom or granddad, or both of you?
Well,
We
both
live-
of us, we live together.
Okay, good. So why was he in Parker County back then?
I lived in Parker County. I recently went through a divorce and I've moved back in with my father, kind of getting my life together as well, as Ryan's.
Sure. So why was he in Parker County on that date with the shooting of the guns? Was he living with you in Parker at that time?
Was.
Okay. Who was he with when he was shooting the guns?
He was with friends out back. I was giving my youngest son a bath at the time.
Okay. So is that your home or your homestead over there? Yeah. Okay. You live, I'm assuming, in a semi-rural area, probably several acres kind of thing?
We had 3 acres, not enough to be shooting guns on. Absolutely not.
So which adults were supervising him at the time?
He was not supervised by an adult at the time.
Okay, so he just got, whose weapon was it? Do we know?
My ex-husband's.
Your ex-husband's, okay. And did your ex-husband maybe give him permission to, or he just kind of took the gun and started shooting?
No, I believe he got my keys and got it out of the safe.
Oh, okay. All right. So now there's allegations while he was on the run after cutting off his monitor that he was on social media posting pictures of himself with guns. All right. Do you know anything about those pictures?
I do not know anything about the pictures, no, sir.
Okay. You don't know anything about what kind of guns? Mr. Miller, what kind of guns was he on social media with?
The picture that I was sent by was an assault rifle. He was
Okay.
posing with an assault rifle.
Okay.
With
All right.
another young man.
Okay. Mom and Granddad, I want you to understand that I am very pro Second Amendment. I believe in our right to bear firearms if we choose to do so. I understand that children do not have that right. It's only adults that do. Okay. So I have a big problem with children with firearms. That's a big problem here, not only in Tarrant County, but in Parker County and across the state and country. So I'm extra cautious when children have access to firearms that we're not aware of. So I am somewhat comfortable with the gun. We're involved with the deadly conduct because we know where that gun came from, and we know how to remove him from the situation. My concern right now is subsequent pictures with the guns. I don't know how much access that Ryan has to firearms. So you can't tell me like those pictures, like where those guns came from or anything like that?
I believe they came from his friends because between my father and I, we don't have any firearms
Mm-hmm.
at all. In our,
And he was living in Tarrant County at the time when this happened with the social media pictures?
he was on the run during that time, sir. So I'm sure he had access to friends' weapons.
Right.
And
So when you say he was on the run, where was he? Do you know?
he was between a lot of different places. We never knew exactly where he was with friends, other adults that were helping support him. We don't know.
Okay, so that gives me concern. And please don't think of me as adversarial on this one, because I'm really trying to do what's best for Ryan, just like you and your dad are. So when you say adults were kind of caring for him. What kind of adults are these that would take a 16-year-old boy in and just provide for them?
I don't know, Your Honor. I don't know what Ryan told the adults. I don't know what kind of adult it was. I don't think it was a parent that knew the full scope of the situation, obviously, that they were helping harbor a runaway. Some of them were 21-year-old kids, still kids themselves. So it was just a dynamic situation that was out of control.
Sure. Okay, now he was referred for a psychological. Does Ryan have mental health history?
I believe so. He has been diagnosed with depression in the past. I think it goes further than that. I'm still waiting to see what his psych evaluation revealed that he had done here.
Mr. Miller, have we performed the psychological evaluation yet?
We have, Your Honor. It was conducted on the 23rd. I have not yet received that report back.
Okay. All right. So this is what I'm going to do at this point, Ryan, is I see you're level 1 outstanding, and you have been since November 27th for over a month. And so I'm glad that you're doing that. The fact that you have been behaving opens the conversation for me to consider releasing you. If you were level 2, I would not even consider it. Okay. So now we've done the psychological. Now I'm going to lay this out for you. Had you done the psychological and not run off, we would already have the results back and I would have the information that I need. The fact that you ran for so long, that is why this is all being delayed. It's kind of your own fault that we're in this situation. Okay. So I'm going to wait to get the results back so we're comfortable. I'm going to warn you. So one thing about me is while a lot of kids back there consider me a little bit tough, they also consider me fair. I don't think anybody back there thinks I'm unfair. Okay. So I want to be straightforward with you and treat you with respect and let you know if the psychological comes back and I'm not comfortable and I also order a psychiatric evaluation, that is going to delay this process a little bit more. But we didn't order the psychiatric because there wasn't a need yet. If the need arises because of the results of the psychological, your release will be delayed. If your psychological shows that there are issues that we can address and that it eases my concern about releasing you, then I will release you. Okay. So I'm just kind of, yes, Mr. Miller.
Actually, we did I think we did order a psychiatric consult.
Okay. That has not been performed yet?
No, because the request was made right before the holidays and Dr. Menchaca told us that it would be some time.
Okay. So Ryan, that's good news actually. So that kind of speeds up the process. I guess one of the other judges found a reason for the psychiatric evaluation. And so we don't have to wait to order it and schedule it, and that delays it. So this kind of speeds it up because it's already been ordered. All right. So I want to see the results of the psychological and the psychiatric. Make sure I'm comfortable releasing you. Obviously, you have access to firearms, which you just found out is a big concern for me. All right. I'm also very concerned when there's mental health issues combined with firearms. That can be a recipe for disaster. Okay. I'm going to let you know if your psychological or psychiatric recommends and prescribes medication, your release will be conditioned upon you taking the medication. If you fail to take the medicine, your mom will let us know. I have no doubt your mom or your grandpa will let us know that you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Obviously, I can tell they're very respectful to me as the judge, and we will bring you back here to make sure you take your medication. Just to give you a heads up, it's entirely possible I will hold you here until you prove you can take the medication and it's well balanced, that you don't have any bad side effects. So that could delay it a couple of days or a week or so. What I'm trying to let you know is I'm trying to find a way to get you out of here, but I can't give you a date. You could have little hiccups that delay the date from time to time, but I don't want you to forget the fact that I'm trying to find a way. Okay?
Okay.
Ryan, do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay. Mr. Decker, do you have any questions for me? Does the plan seem kind of clear?
Yes, the plan does seem clear. My understanding was the psychological was back, and that came back maybe between. I thought I had an email that said that it was back, but not yet released until staffing next week.
Okay, that's entirely possible, but we would still be waiting for the psychiatric anyways.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, just filling in the blanks. I understand. Mom and Grandpa, do you understand what's going on?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You understand why I need to be comfortable because there are weapons involved.
Yes, sir.
Right, and hopefully that, as residents of Tarrant County, that makes you feel a little more comfortable too, knowing that this is my philosophy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Ryan. Hopefully we will not see you at the 10-day hearing. We'll have more information before then, but it is entirely possible we will have another 10-day hearing. Okay, just to give you a heads up, that could be happening. All right? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Decker. No, I am. You're not, but I am. All right, Mr. Dickerson, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case, deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Mr. Adniji, I believe I saw his name.
Yeah, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Adniji. Mr. Adniji.
Morning, Judge.
His camera may not be on, Mr. Dickerson, but he can hear what's going on. All right, so Caleb, you are not on probation. You're at a group home, and this is where, okay, this is where you started. They called police at the group home. They said that you were assaulting residents and had a knife. Police came there, saw you had a knife, and the home's van with the window broken out and a folding chair on the ground. They threw the knife at the police. But you threw a knife at the police and were detained. The nurse said that when you woke up in an agitated state, you started hitting one of the victims in the arm. She shut her door and called the police. Then you started assaulting other residents. One 64-year-old male who was cut several times on the top of his head with a knife. Another victim was struck in the head several times. Another victim was struck in the face several times. And they're all disabled, and two of them are nonverbal. And after assaulting the victims, you went outside, broke the window, so you were transported here. All right, so do we have somebody from Metro Care here?
Your Honor, she was sent the link this morning. She told me yesterday she was going to sign in, but I don't see her.
What is her name?
Paula Reed.
She said she couldn't join in.
Oh, well, there was a Paula Reed that joined late, like 20 minutes late.
That was probably her.
When they're late to court, I generally don't let them in. Well, so did they give you a report? Were they able to find a placement?
I don't know. When I talked to her late last week before the Christmas break, she says that they were still trying to find a 14-day respite care for him, but there wasn't any availability, and she said it would be difficult to place him. So we don't have anything right now. And even if he goes to a 14-day respite care, there's not a plan for his discharge at that point. Like,
what is, you know what his current legal status is? Is he a ward of the state?
I don't believe so. I don't think CPS is involved anymore. Mom staffed him through CRCG. Mom lives in Dallas County. She lives in Garland. And she staffed him through CRCG, and then Metro Care kind of stepped in, and that's how they got him placed at the group home. But Mom does want him in an RTC, and I don't know how much Metro Care is looking for a placement right now or not.
Okay. So at this point, what we're going to do, he's been here for 14 days, and we are not an RTC. You know, I know they think the child is safe, so they don't look as hard. So I think you need to call Metro Care and let them know that if they don't pick him up by end of business today, that we're going to make a referral to the department for a wrapper, and that's the department needs to pick him up tomorrow. Okay, you may want to call the CPS and let them know that this could be happening, but they've had, I think I remember this one, we've given them 2 weeks to find a place, and that's their job, and they need to find this place, but they can't just place a child with us because they can't do their job. All right?
Okay, so you want Metro Care to accept custody by the end of today, if not, call CPS, correct?
Yes, let Metro Care know that the judge expects them to pick up this child by the end of business today, and if they don't, then tomorrow we'll call the department and say they need to pick up this child.
Can I say something?
Yes. Who are you?
I'm the mom.
Okay.
Well, could I come pick him up by the end of the day?
Are you able to provide care for him?
Ma'am, sir?
Are you able to provide care for him?
I will. I don't want him in CPS custody because they're not doing their job.
Right.
That's not fair.
And Metro Care dropped the ball on him too, Judge.
Yes. Oh, no, I agree. And that's why I remember this one at the detention hearing because Metro Care said, I told them actually, I told them less than 2 weeks. I gave them a shorter timeline and they haven't done their job. So that's why I'm telling them they've either got to pick up this child or they have to deal with the consequences of not doing their job and the ramifications. So,
but Judge, if the mom still has the custody, I mean, can you not go home with the mom?
Mom, you're telling me, one, that you're willing to accept responsibility for this child? You are?
Well, it just everything has just been unfair for my child, and now because Metro Care,
we're not going to that part. My decision right now is very focused. I need to make sure that you feel like you are safe if I was to release him to you.
Do I feel safe?
If I was to release him to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Well, if that's
and George actually has been level 1 outstanding since he's been back there. I spoke with him.
No, he's been level 1 outstanding since today, so he dropped yesterday. I don't know for what.
I didn't know that, Judge.
Okay. So, all right. So, Mom, and you understand that you're responsible for bringing him back. And if you do not bring him back, I could issue a warrant for your arrest. Is that correct? You understand that?
Oh, this is.
So if he runs off, you have to understand there could be a warrant issued for you. You have to be able to say, I accept that. I'm comfortable bringing him back to court. And it's a tough choice. And this is why I was going CPS, because Ms. Turner was saying that you thought RTC was the best place for him. And I agree. But if you're stepping up and kind of interjected and said that you would like to take him, I need to make sure that you understand this could come back to you. So you have to be confident about taking it. 1, about your safety because of his violent behavior. And 2, about your liability if you do not return him to court when he's supposed to. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm saying it could happen.
I know.
Mom, the judge is not putting you in a straitjacket. The judge is just trying to do the best for.
I understand, but it's just a terrible situation. It's just not fair.
I agree.
I'm not sure.
You have the IDD and you have the autism. So I understand. That's why that's why I'm trying to make it clear to you, Mom. Okay. You've been watching. You notice I didn't ask any other parents this.
Yes.
I'm just, you seem like a really nice lady, and I don't want to put you in the spot.
I've been trying my best. So if Metro doesn't pick him up, he will be going to CPS care.
For their placement into an RCC.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna. Well, I'm sorry. It's just a hard decision. Yeah. I'm not gonna take the risk. I hate for him to go in CPS, but he haven't had a fair chance. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. This is not about you.
I know it's about him.
It's not about Caleb wanting to hurt you or anything. There are just certain things beyond his control. And that's the hard part for all of us to recognize. That there are things that that's not his fault, but he just can't control himself.
And this may be the only way the agencies will do their jobs.
Well, we spend a lot of tax dollars on these programs. And it's always disappointing when they don't do what they're supposed to do. I mean, they have a job. If they can't do their job, they need to go to the legislature and say they can't do their job. So, all right, Caleb, I'm glad you're level 1 outstanding. Because if you weren't, I wouldn't even be talking about releasing you. But now that you're there, I'm trying to find options. Trust me, Caleb, I do not want you here. I don't think this is good for you. I don't think you belong here. But the law kind of ties my hands on a bunch of things, and this is one of them. So, but hopefully, I expect you to be out by tomorrow one way or another, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Appreciate it.
Chloe Ezell.
Judge, we're waiting for a psychological to be performed, and Chloe has really nowhere else to go. She's doing really well. She's on level 1. I believe she's been on level 1 the whole time she's been there.
For 5 weeks now.
Yeah.
Almost 6 weeks. Good job, Chloe.
She does really well, and unfortunately, Zoe, this is really good and it's really bad all at the same time. It's a sword. But it's, you do great in here, which is good. And the judge appreciates that. And I appreciate that. But at the same time, it's like you do good when you're in strict supervision. So.
Yeah. So Chloe, this is a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days. I can decide whether to keep you or release you. By keep you have to see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to attorney. Miss Abels was there. Chloe, I think Miss Abels is dead on. It's when you're in a very structured environment, you do fine. But as soon as you get a little bit of freedom, it seems like you kind of abuse that and just go overboard. And not just a little bit, but like way too much, right? So we have a psychiatric evaluation ordered. I want to go ahead and wait for the results. I hope you understand. I need to find out more information.
I haven't even done the psychiatric because the pod was quarantined for long enough and they weren't able to go around.
Which is not your fault, okay? You're just kind of a victim. I'm sorry?
They rescheduled it, I think, for next week.
It's on 1/3.
Yeah, and then it's we expect it back on the 13th.
Yes, around that time.
Around that time. And so, and it, it's not your fault, Chloe, but it's still, it affects you. So.
Chloe, yeah, I apologize. It's taking so long. There's nothing you can do about it. There's really nothing I can do about it. This is one of those unfortunate things because of coronavirus and with the holidays and a whole bunch of other factors. Really, it's just kind of a bad luck situation. Okay. So keep up the good work, keep up your behavior. So Chloe, this is just me heart to heart. Okay. I'm having trouble understanding why you can be level 1 outstanding here for 5 consecutive weeks. But then when you go somewhere else, it falls off, right? I mean, you see where I'm coming from on this one. It doesn't make sense because you can do it. So part of me says it may be a choice, but I don't think it is. So what I'm hoping is your experience here, at least you're able to kind of make those mental connections and figure out why is it here that you can live without a problem, but then when you go to placements or other places, it becomes a problem, right? Because if you be level 1 outstanding outside of here, then you and I never would have met. Miss
In
Abels.
placement, she does well too.
Yes, okay.
It's home. But I don't mean to be ugly or anything, but Chloe's never had.
We're trying to get the deed.
She's never had a great home.
Right.
Okay. She's been passed around, and I'm sorry, Chloe, but she's been passed around from, no stability. And so one reason she may be so well in this type of situation is it's stable.
Yeah.
But she makes really bad choices when she's out on her own, but she's a very polite, respectful, very nice, very nice to me, probably nice to probation. She just there's something in her mind that, overrides common sense sometimes.
Chloe, I'm just going to put this aside because ever since we first met at your original detention hearing, I always liked you. I don't know, there's something about you I really, really like. There's something remarkable about you. Doing this as a judge, I see all kinds of kids come in and out, right? And as a lawyer, I saw all kinds of people grow up that touch the criminal justice system. The most amazing stories are the ones that came from the most humble beginnings and overcame what they came through to rise up and do great things with their life. No one really is impressed by somebody who came from a very easy background and did great things because you know what? They had the easy. It's the ones that took adversity and did something despite the adversity. I can see you as the kind of person that will have an amazing story to tell, but some of that's going to have to, a lot of it, and almost all of it has to come from you. You have to say, even though I had this background, this is what I did. And the reason why it's remarkable is because it's so easy to fall into the cycle and go from misery and stay in misery. The hard part is to start in misery and rise up to success. And you have whatever it is, something special inside you that you can do it. but you have to do it. Nobody else can do it for you. Because if somebody else could do it for you, it wouldn't be a special story. You see what I mean? You can have an amazing story about your life, but the only reason why you can do that is because of how tough as things have been. It's the fact that you rose above it is what made it special, okay? I just want you to think about that, because I see inside of you something just amazing and remarkable, and I want you to rise up, and I want you to have a great story to tell, okay? All right, so you understand right now I'm waiting on the results, so I can't do anything.
Yes, and I have a question.
Yes.
You said they were looking for a placement, correct?
I think so. I think that's what I was told.
I was wondering if it could be like a longer term placement until I could like figure out what's going on right now, because
do you have a caseworker?
I'm not sure, but I think my home environment right now is very unstable. My father just got out of jail. My mom is kind of working a lot more. My grandfather passed away, and then my grandma is kind of slumping down under depression. So I'm not sure that home environment is completely stable.
All right. You should have a kid. Ms. Hicks, does she have a caseworker?
Placement unit right now has started their search, and we're waiting for the psychological, so they'll have a better idea of where they can start sending her information.
Okay.
And Chloe, I'm mostly saying this to the judge, but I don't want it to scare you, but this may be a situation where if probation can't find her placement, we may have to go through CPS to find a placement. And the positive thing about that, Chloe, is they'll put you in a longer term placement.
And another thing is that I don't really mind if the best option for a placement or anything would have to be TJJD, because I don't mind that. I know that it might be the best option for me as well, because it's structured.
It is, and they provide these services, and they provide all the services. But Chloe, here's the thing, and I'm impressed how smart you are. So TJJD does provide all the services, and it's very structured, and it's long term. The problem is all the services in TJJD are focused around rehabilitation. And I don't think you're necessarily delinquent as much as you have trouble controlling impulse, which is covered a little bit in TJJD, but that's not as effective as the placements that the department has for that. You see where I'm going? So I want to make sure I don't send you to TJJD for something that can be handled in the community. And the law actually says I have to make a reasonable effort to find a placement in the community before I send you to TJJD.
Yes, sir.
So just let you know what my hands are tied. Judge, I can't just do whatever I want. Like I have rules I have to follow too. Okay, but it's encouraging to see that you wish, like you are looking at all the options. A lot more people need to be open-minded like that. Okay.
And there's a lot of people working on this, Chloe, to get you in the right place. And so having your input is very valuable.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much, Chloe.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. So we have Martin Herrera. All right, Martin, do we have a parent here for Martin?
Your Honor, that was actually Miss Moreno that you
okay.
earlier. She was in a car.
Yeah, well, that's the way it goes. All right, Martin, I'm Judge Kim. It's a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days, reviewing the case, deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Ms. McGonigal is your attorney. Martin, we release you on electronic monitor. You tampered with my monitor while you're out. Now you're here, you're level 3, so I'm not going to release you. You're detained. Thank you, Martin.
Thank you, Judge.
Earl Mayes. Thank you, Ms. McGonigal.
Yes, Grandma.
All right. Do we have a parent for Mace?
Yes, Grandma is here, I believe.
She waited for so long and she logged off, and I told her to log back in.
What is her name?
Denise Wilson.
Okay. Oh, there she is. She's been in the waiting room.
Yeah, she's been waiting for it now.
Hello, Miss Wilson. I let you in. You were late to court, so I don't really add people until it's time. I'll check. Might kind of close the waiting, or don't add people from the waiting room after court begins. So, but I'm glad you're here. All right, Drill. This is a 10-day detention hearing. You've been here 10 days, reviewing your case, deciding whether to release you or keep you. If they keep you here, you see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. And Ms. Uzuihe is your attorney. Good morning, Ms. Uzuihe.
Honey, Your Honor.
Afternoon, I guess. All right. So, let's see. You're living outstanding. You have been for 3 weeks now. GPS trooper saw vehicle failing to signal, traffic stop. Driver said he was Cantrell Mays, born in 99. Officer confronted you on it. You said your birthday is 2004. Smelled weed from the vehicle. You said a little bit of weed inside.
She wasn't on the call this morning.
So there was a Ruger pistol under the driver's seat and a Celtic rifle in the trunk. And you had prior adjudications for robbery. And, you had warrants for you from Jefferson Parish, Louisiana. And they want to extradite you to Louisiana to stand trial for these offenses. And Jefferson Parish is ready to extradite you as soon as your Texas issues are resolved. And Texas is looking to certify you as an adult. So, Jarrell, I feel like if I was to release you, what would happen is you would end up, you wouldn't get out of here. Louisiana would come and pick you up. You would face trial in Louisiana if you got sentenced to prison or juvenile commitment or whatever Louisiana has. Then you would be there potentially for years, and then you would not resolve your Texas case. So I've got you. I'm going to hold you until we resolve your case, and then when that's done, you'll go to Louisiana, take care of your business over there. All right? You have any questions, Mr. Mace? All right, Mr. Mace, and this is going forward. I'm not going to release you because I'm afraid you will not come back to court because of the Louisiana case. So as long as you're level 1-0, you can sign a waiver so you don't have to come to detention hearing. You have the right to a detention hearing. If you get tired of this coming back and forth or seeing me, then as long as you're level 1, you can tell your attorney that you're willing to waive and you don't have to come to the hearing, okay? And also, wait, let me see that again, Stephanie. 1 second.
Yes.
All right, Drew, just to let you know, you turn 17 next month, okay? And so I don't know if you know this or not, but once you're 17 in Texas, I can hold you in the adult jail or the juvenile facility. And so if your behavior drops underneath level 1, so if you're level 2, I will have you housed in the downtown adult jail until this case is done. Okay, so I'm expecting you to stay here at Kimbo in the juvenile facility. You're basically earning your keep by being a good example to other kids by being level 1 outstanding. If your level drops, I will send you downtown and you'll stay there until they finish your case. You cannot make bail on a juvenile case, even if you're in the adult jail, just to make sure you understand, okay? So keep up the good work on the level 1 outstanding. Thank you, Mr. Mace.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Uzuihe. All right, Jade Motherweather waived. We have Askari Montgomery.
Okay, now then be excused, Your Honor.
Yes, have a happy new year, Ms. Uzuihe.
Yes, Jamila was mine, but we got that one waived. So thank you, Your Honor, and happy new year.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Montgomery, do we have a parent for Montgomery?
Yes, Your Honor. What did you say?
No, for Montgomery.
Yes, I can.
Montgomery.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, she's supposed to be there, Judge.
All right, thank you. There we are.
Okay, you have somebody?
Yes, we do. Thank you, Ms. Uzuihe.
Thank you, Your Honor. God bless.
All right. Mr. Montgomery, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. Been here for 10 days, reviewing your case, deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you have to see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. Ms. McGonigal is your attorney. She's here. Good morning. Good afternoon, Ms. McGonigal.
Good afternoon, Judge.
All right. So, 4th PD Real-Time Crime Center broadcasts saw a car. Let's see. Stolen vehicle. Verify the license plate. Went to Forest Hill. 3 people got out of the car, ran. Several people came there, pursued suspects in the perimeter. 3 people taken in custody. Malik Montgomery, Askari Montgomery. Askari was seen throwing a handgun into a yard, which is identified and recovered. So it was transported here. But this all happened while you're out because we received an out of custody referral for a stolen car case. So Askari was driving the stolen vehicle around Seminary. A female said, "Do you want the car?" He said, "Yes." I mean, it was a Lexus. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say yes too, I guess. But also asked if it was stolen. But anyways. All right, so Askari said he was driving to see his friend JJ, where the first vehicle was found. Placed under custody and arrest for stealing a car. So I guess you were on caseload since September, seem to have been doing well. But what else do you do? All right, so Mom, you're here, right?
Yes, sir.
What are we gonna do with this, Askari? I mean, it seems like he's making decisions going down the wrong path, right?
Yes, sir.
When I say the wrong path, I mean the path going to TDC.
Mm.
And you and I do not want that, right?
Yes, sir.
So, like, what's going to be different this time? What can we do different so that Askari is respectful of the law, respectful of you?
For one, make sure he's off of that social media.
Mm.
That has a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just being off the social media, because from my understanding, that's what it seems like you find something to get into, because even though school is in, it's a limit of people in the school, so it's not too much happening in the school.
Okay. Okay. So, Mom, do you work?
Yes.
Okay. So who would supervise Askari when you're at work?
I would have to allow my friend to.
You trust this friend?
Yes.
You're level 1-0. You have been since December 5th. Glad to see that. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and release you. A couple things. One, no social media. All right. And you are going to give all the social media accounts and passwords to your probation officer. Right. And your mom can have them too if she wants. And I'm sorry, Mom?
Then I would say I don't know how to work all this stuff. Okay.
Okay. So our probation, we're gonna have access to that. If I find out that you are re-engaging on social media, right, then we'll bring you back here. Okay. It would be the dumbest reason to come back to Kimbo is because you couldn't stay off of Instagram, right? Okay. That's the story you don't want to tell. They're all like, "Where did Askari go?" You'd be like, "Oh, he posted a real video, and now he's back at Kimbo," right? I mean, you don't want people talking about you like that. So you don't be like Rodney, right? Don't be like old Rodney. So next thing is, I hope you understand when you throw a gun into a back fence, what if there's like a little 3-year-old kid back there, picks up the gun and shoots himself, right? I'm not saying it happened, but I'm just saying we have to be careful about what could happen with our decisions. Right? It may not have happened at all, but I just want you to think about that. Next thing is I'm going to put you on electronic monitor. You know, there's a bunch of kids back there right now at Kimbo that cut off their EM, and they've been here for a while because they cut it off, right? What you don't know is there's a bunch of kids that had an EM and they couldn't handle the situation. They had to walk outside. They broke the EM rules, but they never cut it off. Those kids come back, they don't stay for very long, right? Because they didn't make a bad situation worse. It was bad because they violated the EM. They could have made it worse by cutting it off, but they didn't. They decided this is as bad as it's going to get. Don't make the situation worse than it has to be, even if you make a mistake. All right? You make a mistake, man up, face the music, take the consequences, and move on. Okay? So the reason why I held you for so long was because of the gun, and you know that, right? And so just, man, wait till you're 18. All right? Just don't play with guns when you're a kid. Don't hold them, don't touch them, don't be around them, because you know how I feel about it. Okay? All right, Askari. So right now, are you asking me to give you another chance to prove to me that you can listen to your mom and follow her rules?
Yes, sir.
You're asking me, right? I'm not telling you, like, you're asking me and I'm giving you this opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Okay, don't let me down, Askari. You earned your way out by getting your behavior level up and showing you can do the right thing. All right, Mom, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Mom,
Yes, sir.
I'm also expecting you, I need you. If he gives you any kind of attitude, any kind of problems, you let us know.
I sure will.
We'll always have a bed ready for him.
Okay, thank
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
he was participating in TCAP, which he found to be very beneficial and he enjoyed. Would you be agreeable to have time out on the monitor to continue in that program?
It is difficult. So TCAP and EM are a lot of times mutually exclusive because a lot of what TCAP does is spontaneous and can't be planned. If we can make it work, I'm okay with making it work, but we need to do the EM for at least 30 days. If we need to suspend TCAP to finish the EM 30 days, then we need to. But the EM is part of this release just because of the evading part. And it seems like Mom, he's running around doing a lot of things that he shouldn't be when he's supposed to be home. And the fact that Mom works and can't necessarily supervise him. So the EM's more important. But if he makes it 30 days without a problem, we can go back to TCAP.
Okay, great. Thank you, Judge.
Judge,
Yes.
can I interject? Well, since he was in detention, he was unsuccessfully discharged from TCAP, so I would have to make a new referral anyway, and he goes to court next week as well. So
Okay. All right, Askari, we'll see you next week.
Okay, thank
you, Judge.
Nevaeh Potter.
Right here, Judge.
All right, Ms. Potter, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You've been here 10 days. I'm reviewing your case, deciding whether to keep you here or release you. If I keep you here, then you see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to attorney. Mr. Youngblood is your attorney. So let's see. Fort Worth PD referred you saying victim agreed to meet you on through social media. You were lured into the apartment. Well, Mr. Houston, this is your case. Are you here?
Yes, sir.
Was it lured? Was it like sexual promises?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So client was lured in an apartment. 3 males attacked the victim. He was punched repeatedly in the face. 1 point of a silver handgun. So he turned over his car keys. Stolen vehicle was tracked to Copper Creek. They found 3 males in the other stolen car. She was identified by the photograph she used in social media contacting the victim. And so there was a active warrant because you were on probation for burglary. All right. Yeah, Demetria. Do we have a parent here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, hello, Miss Blake.
Hello.
Hi, Miss Blake. I'm just curious, did you know she was out that night? Or did had she snuck out?
It was in the afternoon. I was at work.
Okay. Yeah, this is, I need to let you know, if this is true, I don't know if it's true or not. That's just what the police say. When I was an attorney, I had a capital murder case where a girl would do that. She was just the bait, the lure. And unknown to her, the guys that were hitting their licks and robbing the people that she brought over, they ended up just executing a guy, just shooting him. She had no idea. She went to TDC for 22 years. Okay. So even though you have no intention of somebody getting hurt or killed, In Texas, there's something called law of parties. You would be responsible for everything that they do. So if this actually in fact happened, you need to be aware of the dangerous game that you're playing. Okay? So at this point, I'm just very concerned that you're going to run away, that you're going to harm other people if I was to release you. I see your level of understanding. I'm glad you are, but this is such a serious offense. I'm not comfortable releasing you yet. Okay? So at this point, I'm detaining you.
Judge, Mom wanted to tell you something that's a change in her circumstance, a pretty serious change.
Okay, Mom.
Yes, I was letting them know. I told the P also she was running away before quite a bit because I was in a very abusive relationship. He's locked up now. They gave him 25 years for aggravated assault on me. So I don't know if that's gonna cause her to stay home. I can't say for sure, but I know she was not comfortable with the situation at home. Not cause the crime, that was on her own, but staying at home, yeah, I'm not sure, but I think that would help.
Okay. At future hearings, remind me if I'm on the fence, that's the kind of thing that would push me to one side or the other, right? On the good side. Right now, because of how serious the offense is, stolen car with the jumping, and the fact that she's using, I guess, sexual guile to lure somebody, that concerns me because, I'm just not comfortable with, she's using her body for illegal gain, is my concern. That's what it boils down to. It's not necessarily prostitution, but she's using her body for illegal gain. I just don't, that really makes me just pause. Devisha, do you have a question?
Devisha, don't talk to him about what happened in your offense, but if you have a question, I believe he will allow you to ask it.
Yeah, don't tell me something, but if you want to ask me something, but ask means it starts with who, what, when, where, how. Okay, so do you want to ask me something?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's your question?
I was wondering if I could have got on the monitor because I can't stop it so I was wondering if I could have got on the monitor until my court date.
So if I release you, it would be on a monitor, okay? But remember, the monitor doesn't keep you from running away. Kids cut off the monitor all the time. You know girls back there that have cut off their monitor, okay? So the monitor by itself doesn't guarantee that you'll be where you're supposed to be. It's just how serious this crime is. There's certain levels of crime. If this was like, you're just a passenger in a stolen car, right? This wouldn't stress me. If it was weed, this wouldn't stress me. But the fact that there was a robbery, that if it's true that you actually set up somebody being jumped, and the fact that you're using your body to set that up, that really worries me. Okay, because you're doing that, you're only one step away from human trafficking and prostitution, and that is a scary, scary thing for a girl your age. And your mom gets it; she understands how this plays out. So, okay. So just Deja, Devisha, this is from how serious the offense is. You may not have realized at the time, if this is true, you may not have realized at the time how serious this was. This is just about as serious as it gets. That's why I'm being extra cautious with you. Okay?
And Judge, I have one question for professionals who might be listening. Yes. I have in my notes that there was a placement search going on for this case, but I've never seen an answer. Is that true? And is there an answer?
I saw notes that there was a search going on. I don't know if has there been Mr. Ansley, would you know?
Your Honor, a placement search has been initiated. Several facilities are looking at her information at this time.
All right, so we're in the process, Mr. Youngblood.
Thank you, Judge. I'm asked to be excused and wish you a happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Mr. Youngblood. Thank you. All right, thank you, Devisha.
All right.
Yeah.
Lead us a berry.
Your Honor, her mother's not going to be able to be online today.
Okay. All right, Lita. Well, Judge Kim, this is a 10-day hearing deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I can't keep you here, you see a judge every 10 days while you're here. So you are scheduled for admission into placement on January 7th. All right, and you understand with the quarantines, if I let you go, you have to come in here and stay here 2 weeks before we can send you to placement. So we're almost there. You got a week left before you go to placement. And hopefully you've been thinking about it and thinking about your situation and realize if you can actually make change and make good decisions. Once you're in placement, you can finish your probation and never see me again. All right. Lita, do you have any questions for me right now?
You said I'm going to leave on January
I
7th.
can't hear you. Can you say that again?
You said I'm finna leave on January 7th.
That's what it's scheduled for. Things can always change with coronavirus, but that's what the schedule is right now. But even if I was, I'm not going to let you go, but even if I was, whenever I let you go, the day you come back in, you have to stay here for 2 weeks before you can go to placement, right? So I just need to hold you here until, for the quarantine period before you can go to placement. Okay? All right. Thank you, Lita. All right. We have Wesley Smith. I think we have Lynn Smith in the waiting room.
And she may be on YouTube. She may have had to go to work. Wesley's on level 3, so they know he's not coming home. He's obviously not taking this seriously.
Right.
If we could waive on a level 3, we'd do it. I would do it in a minute.
I understand.
So, he just needs to be detained.
No, I understand. Here's your candidate. So Wesley, this is a detention hearing, deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, you'll see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. So Wesley, you're level 3. If you can't behave here, you're not going to behave at home. So I'm going to go ahead and detain you. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Abel.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Mr. Smith, did you have a question for me? You want to tell me something?
No, I want to talk to Ms. Ayla. I'm just going to ask her if she can give me a call when she has a chance.
I will.
All right. Thank you.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lynn.
You okay? Is it nice? Better than the Catholic funeral. Nevaeh Tennyson.
Right here, Judge.
Nevaeh, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day hearing. You've been here for 10 days. So I'm reviewing your case, deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to attorney. Ms. Hamrick is your attorney. And
Right here.
Good afternoon, Ms. Hamrick.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right. So Nevaeh, December 3rd, I had an out of custody hearing for you. You left home on December 1st, about 1. And you left in a car that she doesn't know how you got. You didn't come back till 2:30 in the morning. So let's see, I ordered psychiatric and psychological. Psychological scheduled for November 5th due the delay because of the coronavirus. We gave you the opportunity to do an out of custody psychological, but we refused. Prior to detaining you, you were skipping virtual school. You had a vape pen in your pocket at school and only follows the rules at home whenever you want to. Disrespectful to mom, and told her you can't wait till she dies so you can piss on her grave. So, yeah, mom's concerned about you because you're running a scam on OfferUp, advertising guns, then getting people to pay and then ripping them off. Doesn't recognize your mom as parent, so you don't accept her supervision or authority. And we're concerned that if we release you for out of custody, psychological and psychiatric, you would not come back when you're on probation for theft. So, but, well, Ms. Thomas, so
Yes,
she's level
sir.
1 outstanding as of yesterday. How far did she drop down?
She was, she was level 2. Okay, on 12/24, she was level 3, outstanding.
So what happened?
She was level 3 from 12/13 to 12/19. Not following instructions, talking to peer without permission, argumentative with staff, refused to comply with instructions to put crayons in the bag, shutting door without permission, talking without permission a lot.
Mom, sounds like your daughter, doesn't it? All right, well, you know, Nevaeh, we're at this point now where you are here in a lockdown facility. We monitor you 24/7. You have very minimal rules, but they're the very basics. If you follow them, your level goes up and you're level 1 outstanding. If you don't, then your level drops. And if you keep on pushing, because you're going to do it your way, your level continues to drop until you're confined. At that point, you can't lose points because you're not interacting with anybody. So let me explain why I am so obsessed with these behavior levels. Because if you're level 1 outstanding here and you can keep it, that means you know how to do this. You know how to follow the rules, the do not associates, the quick to comply, all those things. And so I can release you to mom because you can follow her rules. But if you can't follow the rules here, you cannot follow the rules at home. I'm not going to put you back with your mom for you to disrespect her. Just not going to do it. Your mom and I have never met. We don't know each other. We don't know anything about each other other than our names. But I'm not going to place a kid with their parents to disrespect their parents. I expect more from every kid in Tarrant County, at least the ones that come in front of my court. So prove to yourself that you can follow the rules. I'll give you the chance. I promise I will give you the chance. But if you're not going to follow the rules here and be level 1 outstanding, then you're not going to be following the rules and be level 1 outstanding with your mom. And if you're not going to do that, I'm not going to put you back home. So really, what the whole point of me talking and saying all this is it's up to you. Whenever that you flip the switch and decide you're going to just do what you're supposed to do, then you go home. But until you do that, you're not going home. So you'll stay here as long as it takes. Mom, how old is she?
She's 15 going
15.
on 15.
All right, so we got a couple more years. We got like 3 more years that you can stay here at Kimbo. Or it could be 3 more days. Like you just decide, I'm gonna follow the rules and you go home. Or you can be here all the way to your 18th birthday because you refuse to follow the rules. So it's really just laid out that simple. So if you want to fight and I'm the jerk and the jackwagon and the guy who's ruining your life, I'm just letting you know, I don't care. I mean, it's just up to you. Make the decision to do right and you get out. If you're going to fight the system and hold on and just be stubborn about it, you're going to lose this one. I sleep in my bed every night. You don't. All right? All right, Ms. Tennyson, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, she has her evaluation scheduled on the 6th.
Yes, I think the 7th. Yeah, so she has the evaluation, and if there's prescriptions given by the doctor, then she will have to take her prescriptions. Otherwise, she won't get to level 1 because that's one of the rules. You'll lose points by not taking your medicine as prescribed. And then maybe that helps her, and that puts her in a situation to go back home to you. But if she doesn't take your medicine with you, then you just let us know when we bring her back here. So this is a consequence of her decisions. This can go on for several more years. I would like a normal, healthy relationship with you and your daughter.
Yeah.
And normal, healthy relationship between mom and daughter also means fights and arguments. I mean, right? That just happens with moms and daughters. But a normal arguments. No, I want you to die so I can piss on your grave. That's not normal or healthy. Okay?
She has another court date on the 6th, an actual court date.
She may, but I don't think anything's going to happen if the evaluations aren't back. We'll need the evaluations to get a full social history for her. Which, Stephanie, if that's the case, we can just reset this January 6th setting. Hey, Mom, do you have any questions for me?
No, not at this time.
All right. So, Nevaeh, do you have any questions for me? If you want to tell me something, you probably shouldn't, but if you have a question for me, I don't mind answering. No questions?
Give her a second, Judge.
Oh, okay.
She's thinking.
Oh, sure.
Don't got nothing to say. She's nervous, Judge Cam.
Okay. Nevaeh, I don't mind answering your questions. I know I'm tough, but I'm also very fair. And as long as you're respectful to me, I will always be respectful to you. Okay. There's a couple kids I'm kind of disrespectful to, but they've kind of earned it. So, and
I'm level 1 though, sir.
I'm sorry?
I'm a level 1 already.
Yes, but you can't just reach it because your past behavior was so bad and so extreme that just hitting that mark isn't enough. You have to hold it for a little while to show me that you're able to maintain it, because there are kids that manipulate the system and that get to level 1 and go home and keep up the same thing. Now for you right now, I need these evaluations because I feel like there may be a deeper issue here that you may need medication. And so I want to release you with the best chance of success. I don't want to set you up for failure. Okay? But I appreciate that you're level 1 though. The fact that you're there without medication tells me that that's good news. Okay? That's really good news. Do you have any other questions for me? No? Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you next week, and hopefully the evaluations will come back, and then we can find out where to go from here. Mom, no questions still?
No, not at this time, Judge.
Never took it though, sir.
I'm sorry? I just didn't hear what you said, Nevaeh.
Never took like the thing. The evaluation. Yeah.
Montgomery, I'm having trouble understanding her. What did she say?
Yeah, I don't want to. She has a difficult time expressing herself sometimes, Judge Kim. It takes her a minute. She has to think her thoughts through before she speaks. She was saying she already took her evaluation.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So Nevaeh, what's happening is they.
I didn't take it yet.
You didn't take it. She did not take it.
Okay. No. Okay. Now, once you take the evaluation, it takes about a week to get the reports back. Okay. So it's not like you take the evaluation and it's over. Like we have to wait for the doctor to write the reports. Okay. Did you have any other questions, Nevaeh?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Ms. Denson, you actually deep down inside, you have a wonderful daughter. We need to find a safe way to bring her back home. Okay.
I totally agree. That's the plan. I want it to be a success and not, reverting and going back to the same thing. I want it to, because it's been a toxic environment. And so it just hasn't been good.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We got about 3 years to get there.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, she'll be 16 in June. So
Okay. It's a little more than 2 years, 2.5 years to get there. But a lot of it's just when Nevaeh decides it's time. And then it's time. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. That will conclude the detention docket for December 30th. Everyone have a happy new year. We'll see you on Monday.
Thank you, Judge.
New Year, Your Honor.
Happy New Year.
Judge, if you're available, can I speak with you on a separate matter?
Oh yeah, let me stop this live stream first. David's by the info on Otis, or do I get to